Top 10 Most Mysterious Secrets in History. For a long time, our world has been shrouded in mysteries that continue to challenge human imagination and knowledge. From lost civilizations to unsolved crimes, there are mysteries that never seem to be answered. But in this video, we'll explore 10 of history's most mysterious secrets, stories full of mystery and questions that are still waiting to be answered. Get ready for a journey through events and places that will make us wonder how vast things are that we don't yet understand. Number 10. Face on Mars. On July 25, 1976, NASA's Viking 1 orbiter took a series of images while on a mission to study the surface of Mars. In one of these images, what appears to be the form of a giant face appears in the region of Cydonia Mensae, a part of the northern hemisphere of Mars. The image shows a shape that closely resembles a human face, with the clear shape of two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. The face appears to be a large landform, measuring 2.5 kilometers in length. The shadows and shapes seen in the image gave the impression that it was an artificial structure, possibly the work of an ancient civilization. The image quickly became popular and became the subject of many theories and speculations. Those who believe in the theory of alien or extraterrestrial life have suggested that the face on Mars is a monument left by an ancient civilization that once lived on Mars. These explanations have given rise to various speculative theories about the possibility of life on Mars and the history of the planet. Despite the theories, scientists from NASA and other experts say that face is an example of pareidolia, a phenomenon in which the human brain sees familiar shapes and patterns in random data, like clouds or stones. In 1998, the Mars Global Surveyor took higher resolution images of the same area. The new photos show that the face is not really a face, but a natural rock formation made to look like a face by the angle of light and shadow. The European Space Agency reconfirmed this in 2006 with the Mars Express probe, proving that the face on Mars is a mountain that just happens to resemble a face when viewed from a certain angle. The face on Mars is one of the most famous examples of how an image can give rise to various theories and speculations, especially when it relates to the possibility of life on another planet. Although it has proven to be a natural landform, it remains a symbol of human curiosity and the desire to find signs of life outside of Earth. Number 9. The Vanishing of Amelia Earhart. Amelia Earhart is one of the most famous female pilots in history, known for her flight records and her desire to explore new frontiers in aviation. However, his mysterious disappearance in 1937 while trying to travel around the world left a big question that has not been fully answered until now. In 1937, Amelia Earhart launched an ambitious plan to become the first female pilot to fly around the world with her plane, a Lockheed Electra 10E. Together with navigator Fred Noonan, they began their journey from Oakland to California and gradually traveled to different parts of the world. On July 2, 1937, Earhart and Noonan set sail from Lae, Papua New Guinea, to Howland Island, a small isolated island in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. This is the longest and most dangerous part of their journey. As they approached Howland Island, there was a communication problem. Although Earhart repeatedly contacted U.S. ships, the Coast Guard, specifically the Itasca, that was on standby to guide them, was unsuccessful in determining their exact location. The last message recorded from Earhart indicated that they were close, but they still could not see the island. After the last transmission, their plane suddenly disappeared and nothing more was heard from them. Despite the extensive search and rescue operations conducted by the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard, no trace of the plane of Earhart and Noonan was found. Many theories have emerged regarding the disappearance of Amelia Earhart, but none of them have been fully proven. The most popular theory is that Earhart and Noonan's plane ran out of fuel and crashed into the ocean near Howland Island. Because of the extent of the Pacific Ocean and the depth of the water, the plane may have sunk and never been found. Another theory claims that Earhart and Noonan crashed or landed on Japanese-controlled islands, specifically the Marshall Islands, where they were captured and accused of being spies. According to speculations, they were imprisoned and possibly killed, but there is no solid evidence to support this. Despite her loss, Amelia Earhart remains a symbol of courage, determination, and dreams. Her achievements in the field of aviation continue to inspire women and around the world. His mysterious disappearance left an unsolved mystery, but it also sparked a deeper desire to explore and understand the limits of human ability. The disappearance of Amelia Earhart is one of the longest-running mysteries in aviation history and continues to be studied and debated by experts and history buffs to this day. Number 8. Jack the Ripper's secret identity. Jack the Ripper is one of history's most notorious unsolved serial killers, terrorizing the streets of London in 1888. His brutal crimes and his unsolved identity have become a mystery that continues to be talked about and debated to this day. In late 1888, the East End of London, particularly in the Whitechapel district, became the scene of a brutal murder. The victims, all of whom were women, were found dead in the streets with severe wounds from a sharp object. These murders had a distinct violence. Some of the bodies were subjected to mutilation after death, and body parts were missing. Although many murders took place in Whitechapel during Jack the Ripper's existence, the victims are thought to have been killed by the same man. Mary Ann Nichols was murdered on August 31, 1888, the first victim believed to have been murdered by Jack the Ripper. He was found in Bucks Row, now Durward Street. Mary Jane Kelly was also said to have been murdered on November 9, 1888. She was the youngest victim and suffered the most severe mutilation. He was found inside his room at Miller's Court, almost unrecognizable due to the severity of his injuries. The murders became international news. Scotland Yard and the Metropolitan Police attempted, but failed, to catch the killer. Despite efforts, they were unable to identify the culprit, and there was not enough evidence to point to the culprit. Many suspects appeared from ordinary citizens to members of the royal family, but none of them proved to be Jack the Ripper. Authorities have received numerous letters from various people, including some claiming to be Jack the Ripper. The unsolved case of Jack the Ripper has had a profound impact on history. He has become a symbol of mystery and violence, and his crimes have spawned countless books, movies, and television shows. His identity is constantly debated by experts, historians, and enthusiasts who offer a variety of theories. Despite efforts to reopen and investigate the case using modern technology and forensic science, Jack the Ripper's true identity remains a mystery. His case is not only an example of an unsolvable crime, but a meditation on human cruelty and the limitations of technology and knowledge at the time. Number 7. Disappearance of Mayan civilization. The disappearance of the Mayan civilization is one of the greatest mysteries in the history of Mesoamerica. The Mayans are known for their colorful culture, great architecture, and advanced knowledge of astronomy and mathematics. However, despite their success, their civilization suddenly disappeared from the peak of power, and it continues to be a puzzle for historians and archaeologists. The Mayan civilization flourished in the Mesoamerica region, which includes present-day Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. Their civilization reached its peak in the so-called Classic period 250 to 900 CE, where the Maya built large cities such as Tikal, Palenque, Copan, and Calakmul. The Maya are known for their pyramids, temples, and palaces built using limestone. They also had a sophisticated writing system, calendar, and advanced knowledge of astronomy. Their economy is mainly based on agriculture, especially growing corn, beans, and squash. The Maya had city-states that had intense competition with each other, often ending in wars. By the 8th to 9th century CE, the major Mayan cities in the southern lowlands region, which were the center of their civilization, began to fall. Within a few decades, many cities were abandoned and fell into disrepair, and the region's population plummeted. This collapse did not just occur in one area, but in the entire region of the southern Mayan lowlands. Many theories have been proposed by experts to explain the mysterious disappearance of the Mayan civilization. According to studies conducted, widespread deforestation and soil erosion due to excessive farming may have caused the collapse of agriculture, which was the main source of food for the Maya. Food shortages may have resulted in mass starvation and death. But archaeological evidence shows that there may have been a severe drought in the region, which lasted for several decades. This drought may have caused a shortage of water and food, resulting in the collapse of cities and the death of many people. Although the major Mayan cities fell, the Mayan culture did not disappear completely. The remaining Mayans migrated to the northern part of the Yucatan Peninsula, where their civilization continued in cities such as Chichen Itza and Mayapan. The Mayans in this region continued their tradition until the arrival of the Spaniards in the 16th century. To this day, the descendants of the Maya remain in Mesoamerica, and they continue to carry on their traditions, language, and culture. The loss of the Mayan civilization is a complex issue probably caused by a combination of different factors. The collapse of their cities shows how nature, society, and politics can cause major changes in a civilization. The mystery of their disappearance continues to inspire studies and research, while their contributions to culture and knowledge remain part of humanity's heritage. Number 6. Disappearance of MH370. The disappearance of Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 is one of the most controversial and unsolved mysteries in the history of modern aviation. The plane, with 239 on board, disappeared without a trace on March 8, 2014. And to this day, what really happened on this flight remains a mystery. Malaysia Airlines flight MH370, a Boeing 777-200ER, was scheduled to travel from Kuala Lumpur International Airport in Malaysia to Beijing Capital International Airport in China. It left Kuala Lumpur at 12:41 a.m. local time and is expected to land in Beijing at 6:30 a.m. 227 passengers and 12 crew members were on board. MH370's last regular communication with air traffic controllers occurred at 1:19 a.m., 38 minutes after it took off. The plane's captain, Zahari Ahmad Shah, said, "Good night Malaysian 370, as it left Malaysian airspace and entered Vietnamese airspace. A few minutes later, the plane suddenly disappeared from air traffic control radar. However, based on military radars, it was determined that the plane changed direction to the west, returned to the Malaysian peninsula, and then flew further south into the Indian Ocean. Satellites that picked up a ping from the plane showed that MH370 had flown for hours after it disappeared from radio and radar, giving the impression that it had continued to fly to an undetermined destination. After the disappearance, many countries, including Malaysia, China, and Australia, immediately launched a massive search and rescue operation. The search centered on the South China Sea, but they did not find any evidence of the plane's debris. Despite searching parts of the Indian Ocean using sonar, underwater drones, and search ships, the main body of MH370 has not been found. However, parts of the plane, including a flaperon, a part of the plane's wing, washed up on the shores of the island of Réunion in 2015, and other pieces of the plane were found on the shores of the Indian Ocean in the following years. In the studies conducted, one possible theory is that there was a major mechanical failure in the plane, which resulted in the failure of the communication systems and loss of control, which may have taken the plane on an unintended course until it crashed into the Indian Ocean. Some experts believe that the captain may have intentionally brought down the plane. This theory is fueled by reports that Zahari may be under severe emotional stress, although there is not enough evidence to prove this. There is also some speculation that the plane may have been sabotaged by one or more passengers, resulting in the plane losing control and crashing. The disappearance of MH370 has had a profound impact on the whole world, especially on the families of its passengers. The incident led to changes in aviation rules, especially in terms of tracking planes and communication with air traffic controllers. The incident demonstrated the vulnerability of aviation systems and continues to be a lesson for improving safety protocols. To this day, there is no definitive answer as to what really happened to flight MH370. Parts of the plane that have been found have provided some clues, but the exact location of the main part of the plane is still unknown. The mystery of MH370 continues to fuel much speculation and research, and it remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in aviation history. The incident reminds us of the importance of aviation safety and the continued need for innovative technologies and protocols to prevent such tragedies in the future. Number 5. Mystery of Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle, also called the Devil's Triangle, is one of the most famous and controversial places in the world because of the mysterious disappearances of ships, planes, and even people. It is located in the northwest Atlantic Ocean, forming a triangle from three main areas: Miami, Bermuda, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. Within this region, there are many reports of unexplained incidents, which have given rise to various theories and speculations. The Bermuda Triangle first gained attention in the 20th century when a series of disappearances of ships and aircraft occurred. One of the most famous incidents was the disappearance of Flight 19 on December 5, 1945. Flight 19 was a squadron of 5 U.S. Navy torpedo bombers on a training flight from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. All of the planes, along with 14 crew members, disappeared without a trace after reporting problems with their navigation instruments. A rescue plane sent to search for Flight 19 also disappeared, adding to the overall mystery. Besides Flight 19, many other vessels have disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle over the past decades, including the USS Cyclops, a U.S. Navy cargo ship with over 300 crew members and a large cargo of manganese on board. The ship disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle region in March 1918 without sending a distress signal, and no trace of her was ever found. Also, the Marine Sulphur Queen, a tanker ship carrying sulfur that disappeared with a crew of 39 in 1963. The ship gave one last radio message near Florida, but after that, it suddenly disappeared and was never found. According to some experts, the Bermuda Triangle may have strange magnetic fields that affect the navigation instruments of ships and planes, causing them to go astray and get lost. Another theory is the presence of methane gas eruptions from the ocean floor, which could cause the density of water and even air to drop. When methane hydrates come up from the bottom of the sea, it can weaken the buoyancy of ships, causing them to sink quickly. It can also affect planes passing overhead. On the other hand, many experts say that most losses can be due to human error. In this region of the Atlantic Ocean, there are many islands and shallow waters that can be the source of accidents if they are not careful. Lack of communication and the presence of storms and sudden changes in weather can also cause tragedies. Although there is a lot of speculation about the Bermuda Triangle, many scientists and historians say that there is nothing special or mysterious about this region. According to the analysis, the number of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle is not different from other parts of the ocean, especially considering the amount of traffic that passes through it. Many loss reports can be explained by natural phenomena, mechanical failure, and human error. Number 4. Pyramids of Giza. The pyramids of Giza, especially the Great Pyramid, are one of the most famous structures in the world and one of the most famous examples of ancient architecture. These pyramids are part of a vast necropolis in Giza, Egypt, and were built as tombs for the pharaohs. Despite thousands of years of study and research, there is still much mystery and secrecy surrounding the pyramids of Giza, especially how and why they were built. The Giza Plateau is home to 3 major pyramids: the Great Pyramid of Khufu, the Pyramid of Khafre, and the Pyramid of Menkaure. They were built during the 4th dynasty of the Old Kingdom of Egypt, around 2580 to 2580 BCE for Khufu, 2570 BCE for Khafre, and 2510 BCE for Menkaure. Each pyramid is accompanied by smaller satellite pyramids, temples, and other structures, forming a religious and ceremonial complex. Although much has been discovered about the pyramids, there are still some mysteries that have not been fully resolved, including how they were built. One of the greatest mysteries is how the pyramids were built, especially the Great Pyramid, which consists of more than 2.3 million blocks of stone, each weighing from 2.5 to 15 tons. The way the stones were transported from the quarries to the construction site and their exact arrangement are still debated by experts. Various theories have been proposed, including the use of ramps, sledges, and a system of ropes and pulleys, but no theory has yet been fully proven. Although the pyramids are generally considered to be the tombs of the pharaohs, their exact purpose and symbolism remains an enigma. The alignment of the pyramids is exact and seems to have a connection to the stars, particularly Orion's belt, which may indicate a deeper religious or astrological meaning. There are those who believe that the ancient Egyptians had advanced technologies that were not recorded or have been lost to history. Some theories say that the pyramids may have been built using methods or technologies that we do not yet fully understand. Despite the discoveries, there is still much we don't know about the pyramids of Giza. Archaeological investigations and the use of new technologies such as ground-penetrating radar, 3D scanning, and cosmic ray imaging continue to uncover hidden chambers and passageways within the pyramids. The pyramids of Giza continue to leave many questions unanswered, and their secrets continue to inspire experts, researchers, and history buffs. They are not only a symbol of the power of the ancient Egyptians, but also of their deep knowledge, beliefs, and art that continued for thousands of years. The mystery of the pyramids is one of the greatest legacies of mankind, which continues to be the subject of study and admiration around the world. Number 3. Coded Voynich Manuscript. The Voynich Manuscript is a mysterious book full of strange illustrations and written in an as yet undetermined language or code. It is considered one of the most famous mysteries in the history of cryptography and linguistics because its exact purpose, content, and origin have not yet been determined. The manuscript is named after Wilfrid Voynich, a Polish antiquarian bookseller who found it in 1912. It consists of 240 pages with illustrations of exotic plants, symbols, and unfamiliar diagrams. The manuscript is made of vellum, which is a type of fine animal skin used for writing in the medieval period. The book is divided into different sections based on the theme of its contents. The exact origin of the Voynich manuscript remains a mystery. According to tests, the vellum used for the manuscript dates from between 1404 and 1438 CE, based on carbon dating. However, it is not clear who authored it or where it was made. It first appeared in history in 1912 when Wilfrid Voynich bought it from a Jesuit college in Frascati, Italy. There are theories that it may have been written by an alchemist, a mystic, or a medieval scientist, but there is no confirmed information about it. Many experts believe that the text of the manuscript was written using an advanced cipher or code that has yet to be determined. Some say it may be a form of polyalphabetic cipher, but no one has yet confirmed a complete solution. A controversial theory says that the Voynich manuscript may be a hoax, created to deceive students and collectors. According to this theory, the strange text and illustrations have no real meaning and are deliberately made to appear mysterious. In recent years, a lot of technological research has been conducted on the Voynich manuscript, including the use of AI and algorithms to try to decode the text. However, despite efforts, the content of the manuscript remains unclear. In 2018, a professor from the University of Bristol, Gerard Cheshire, claimed to have decoded the manuscript and revealed that it was a type of Proto-Romance language used in the medieval period. However, his statements have received widespread criticism from experts, and his theory has not been proven. Number 2. Tunguska Event. The Tunguska Event was a very powerful eruption that occurred on June 30, 1908, in the remote region of Siberia, near the Podkamennaya Tunguska River in Russia. The incident caused the destruction of a large part of the forest, with an area of approximately 2,150 square kilometers, and is considered the strongest impact event in modern world history. Although no crater was found, the event left many questions and led to various theories about its cause. The explosion is estimated to have occurred between 5 and 10 kilometers above the ground and released energy equal to 10 to 15 megatons of TNT, which is about 1,000 times more powerful than the atomic bomb detonated on Hiroshima in 1945. Of the explosion, it was heard at a distance of 1,500 kilometers, and the shockwave from it enveloped the Earth twice. At the site of the explosion, an estimated 80 million trees were destroyed, and those who witnessed the incident from hundreds of kilometers away saw a bright light in the sky, followed by a tremendous heat wave. According to theories, the Tunguska event was caused by the explosion of a stony meteorite or comet nucleus above the Earth. According to this theory, the object, which may have been 50 to 100 meters in size, entered the Earth's atmosphere and exploded before it hit the ground. The energy from this explosion caused a shockwave that caused trees to fall and destroyed large areas of the forest. There are also some theories that say the Tunguska Event may have been caused by a small asteroid that entered the Earth's atmosphere. Like a meteorite, this asteroid exploded above the ground, causing a very powerful shockwave. Others say the explosion was caused by a natural gas explosion from underground. According to this theory, the release of methane from the Earth's crust erupted, but the lack of other evidence for this type of event has cast doubt on this theory. The Tunguska Event had a profound effect on the scientific community and the population. It was a reminder of the potential dangers of impact events from extraterrestrial objects, and since then, it has been the inspiration for various studies on asteroid and comet impacts. The event also allowed the development of planetary defense initiatives aimed at detecting and potentially avoiding threats from space objects that could cause similar or worse effects in the future. The Tunguska Event remains a great puzzle in natural history and a clear example of unusual events that can occur on our planet. Although much has been learned from scientific investigations, the exact details of what caused this eruption are still being studied and debated, and are a reminder of the forces of nature beyond our understanding. Number 1. Lost City of Atlantis. The Lost City of Atlantis is one of the most famous legends in human history. First mentioned by Plato, an ancient Greek philosopher around 360 BCE, Atlantis is described as a powerful and massive civilization that sank to the bottom of the ocean due to a severe disaster. For more than 2,000 years, the story of Atlantis has inspired much speculation, research, and legends about a lost and perfect civilization. Atlantis first appeared in Plato's work. According to Plato, Atlantis was a mighty empire that existed about 9,000 years before his time, located at the Pillars of Hercules, now referred to as the Strait of Gibraltar. Atlantis is depicted as an enormous island or continent, larger than Libya and Asia Minor combined. According to the story, the Atlanteans were a wealthy and technologically advanced people with amazing temples, palaces, and canal systems. Their capital, called Atlantis, was a huge city with circular canals that formed concentric circles around a central island. But despite their wealth and power, the Atlanteans became corrupt and tried to take over the world. According to Plato, because of their excessive arrogance, the gods decided to punish them. In one night and day, a great earthquake and flood struck Atlantis, and the entire island sank under the sea, disappearing forever. Many experts believe that Atlantis was a myth created by Plato to teach a moral lesson about pride, power, and justice. According to this view, Atlantis is an allegory of Athens, and the story shows the importance of a balanced society guided by justice and goodness. Many theories say that Atlantis could be located in different places, from the Mediterranean Sea, the Caribbean, to the Atlantic Ocean. Some have suggested that Atlantis may have been a lost part of the continent, such as the Azores, the Canary Islands, or an underwater area called Doggerland in the North Sea. Another theory says that Atlantis could be in Antarctica, and the civilization was submerged in the ice of the continent after a change in the Earth's axis or movement of tectonic plates. Although this theory is unique, it is not widely accepted by scientists. Despite many theories, no definitive archaeological evidence has been discovered to support the existence of Atlantis. Plato's story remains the main source of information about Atlantis, and there is no other ancient record or evidence to show its existence. In the 20th century, many expeditions and investigations were conducted to find Atlantis, but all failed. Some of the known investigations were carried out by amateur archaeologists, but no concrete evidence was found. The story of Atlantis continues to inspire many works, films, television shows, and other art forms. This is an example of how a legend can persist for thousands of years, inspiring people to search and think about lost civilizations and mysteries of the past. Atlantis remains one of the greatest mysteries in history. As experts continue to study and debate, the story of Atlantis underscores our natural inclination to seek out secret places and civilizations that may be buried beneath the sea or beneath the ice. Atlantis, whether real or not, is a reminder of our constant desire to explore the unknown and our penchant for legends and stories involving lost worlds. What is your opinion in our video today? Comment down below.